Hi everyone. It's Friday, yay! So I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about my older son. I've been meaning to do this video for a little while, and I wanted to really think about what I was going to say, because it's such a touchy topic for some people, and my son is special needs and he's only 4, so I don't have a lot of experience with this topic, but I can only give you, the truth of how I go about doing things, or, what works best for me, and what, my experience and story is with my son. And so my son, Jayden, is 4. He is diagnosed with ADHD and ODD. He recently was diagnosed with ODD, which is oppositional defiant disorder, and ADHD is attention deficit hyperactive disorder. So we're still waiting on a couple more diagnoses. So I can definitely tell you that it's very frustrating, trying to figure out, having doctors saying, we're going to continue to evaluate him. I want to hold off on a diagnosis. And I understand, with them, but it's so frustrating with the parent. For me, I'm just just tell me what's wrong with him, or just, give me a diagnosis so we can, go about the proper procedures to help him. So I'm still waiting on a few more. I know that they agree that he has some emotional and social issues going on, but he's the best, and he's very sarcastic, and he's very smart, and he's he's a ham. But we started realizing that something was off when he was about, I'd say about under 2. And when I brought him in to the doctors, his pediatrician, we were like, yeah, he's, I have ADHD, so I really, I know exactly what it is from a point of, a personal point. So when I was looking at him and observing him, I could definitely see the similar characteristics between me and him. So when I brought it up to the doctor, I think he was under 2, and they said to me, he's way too young, kids are kids, don't jump to conclusion. Moms know. Moms just know. They have that mom gut. I've had, experiences with going for it, and, people telling me you're wrong, doctors saying you're fine, he's fine, you're wrong. I was right. Moms always go with that gut. It's on. So, that's definitely my advice, is to go with your gut. So, knew something was wrong, but they said that they were going to continue to look at it. And so he went to a regular preschool, daycare at that point, and then he went to when he turned 3, he went to a preschool, and the behavioral issues were getting worse, but we were monitoring them, and making sure that everything was okay. But he definitely struggled, and with his behavior, his hyperness, impulsivity, all of that stuff. And so they called us in, me and Dave, they called us into the school, and they said, we love Jayden. And they actually gave us an aide. He had a one-on-one aide with him, and they usually don't do that. They are not supposed to do that. They didn't charge us extra or anything. It was a private preschool. And, they loved him, but they just said that it's not really, we're not able to, provide the best support for him. So they recommended that we go through our school district to get him evaluated to see if he could get more support. So that was scary. It was hard, but we did it, and I kind of just took off with it and said, okay, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that this kid gets all of the help he needs. So he was evaluated, and it kind of stinks because his evaluations were in the beginning of COVID, so most of his evaluations were on the video, and he does not do well on video, but it shows his true colors, which is something that, you know, needed to be. Sorry, my son is doing something. He was evaluated, and it was, you know, it was definitely like a disaster, but it was the truth. So he was evaluated, and he was, like I said, he was diagnosed with ADHD, and at that point, and then they said that he needs to be further evaluated, and you know, so we had the summer, and you know, the summer was craziness, and I kind of was waiting for a really long time to get a diagnosis, so I went to a different place and got a second opinion, and that's always a huge, you know, if you are not getting the information you need, I totally suggest to get a second opinion. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you know, doctors are human, and sometimes it's better to have another opinion of another doctor who, you know, has that experience, or, you know, whatever it is. So that's what we did. And we recently just got the diagnosis of ODD, which is, you know, the outbursts and the throwing things and the emotional piece of it, defiance. So this is going to be a really long video because I have a lot to say. So I'm going to have to break it up with stuff. But so Jayden started going to a special needs school. He was evaluated, and then he was accepted to a special needs preschool that he's been going to since September. And you know, he was 4, and they said, okay, his bus ride is going to be an hour long, and I was like, oh my gosh, what? But it was great, and it is great. It's great that he can go on a bus sit for an hour, and, you know, it's helping him. The school is great. He gets his services. He gets speech therapy twice a week. He gets group therapy. He has private therapy. He has a lot of support, and you know, that's so important. Dave and me are pretty much on the same page, and that's also very important. It's usually not the case. I talk to a lot of parents, and it's usually not the case where you know, both of the parents are on the same page. So I'm very blessed for that. In the beginning, it wasn't. You know, I was more believing that he had some issues, as opposed to Dave, who kind of was just like, didn't really, you know, see that, but now he sees that it's true. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I always say that, you know, God chose me to be Jayden's mother, and nobody else. And he chose me because that's my role, and I can do it. And anytime that I feel like I can't do something, or I'm struggling so hard with him, or whatever's happening, like I always have to remember that's my mission. God chose me to be Jayden's mom, and I can do it, because if I couldn't, then God wouldn't have chose me. So yes, we're waiting on some more diagnosis. The second doctor also is going to take her time, which is okay, because, you know, Jayden is, you know, it's okay. He is very peculiar. Is that a word? You know, he's very smart, and he just he's amazing. But yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going on that we're doing everything we can to help him. And I heard something. I think I heard change. So I'm just going to run over there. But yeah, so that's a little bit about my part with Jayden. I'm going to definitely post some more videos about some of our experiences. But yeah, if you're going through a diagnosis that you just received from your child, you know, just take a deep breath. Know that it's okay. And I would automatically, the first thing I did was I went on Facebook. I joined a bunch of groups for parents of children with special needs, ADHD, ODD, social emotional problems, and that was a huge help because it had parents who were going through the same exact things I'm going through. It's hard, especially with another child, like multiple children. It gets really hard, and oh, thank you. Oh, but you're not supposed to have these. Oh, and a tea. Oh, thank you. Okay. But yes, so we will post more videos, right, Ty? Oh, Tyler's a leprechaun today. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi. So yes, I will definitely be posting some more videos on special needs and my experience with my special needs child. But yeah, so I hope everyone has a good day, and we'll talk to you later. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.